Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I have filmed. Oh my gosh, I think the last time I was in St. Lucia, so it feels a little bit weird to be talking to the camera, but I'm very excited to be back. If you're new, welcome. My name is Mari. I'm so happy to have you here on my channel. We talk all about fitness, health, mental health, journeys, food, nutrition, life, everything. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve and a great Christmas. Hope you had a good holiday season. It is the new year, it is 2019, and that means a lot of people are embarking on their fitness journeys. So I thought this would be a perfect time to tell you guys a little bit more about how I started. I get asked all the time for tips and tricks on starting your fitness journey, how I did it. I do have a video about my transformation overall, but that one was a lot more emotional, a lot more just about my story and why I started. This video is going to be about how I actually started. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe below so you don't miss any new videos. I'm going to be churning out a lot more YouTube videos now that I think things have calmed down a little bit from the holidays. Let's get into the video. So the first thing that really stands out to me when I think of my fitness journey and how I changed my daily habits and routine is food. I think food is important in so many ways. It can be manipulated to help you reach your goals. You can make slight changes and see a lot of transformation in your body, but more than that, I think it has a huge effect on you mentally and how you just feel throughout the day, which is crucial when embarking on a new fitness journey. So the first thing that I did when I started my fitness journey was food. And that's a very broad statement because I definitely had phases throughout my fitness journey where I learned more about food and learned more about how I could eat to the way I like and things like that. So I'm going to tell you about how I actually first started. When I first started my fitness journey, my main inspiration for everything was Greg. If you don't know this, Greg has been bodybuilding since middle school. Like, this has been his passion for a long time. However, at the time I did not live with Greg. He wasn't with me on a daily basis. I only saw him on the weekend because he lived in Philadelphia. So I made mental notes of what Greg ate, which was a lot of protein, a whole lot of protein. He ate a lot of eggs, steak, oats. He had a traditional bodybuilder diet. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of emulate this bodybuilder diet. And I remember the first day of this journey that I had, I made a plate of eggs and I made it very similar to what Greg would have in the morning, and it was literally like 8 eggs, like 8 whole eggs. And I sent him a picture and I was like, look, my breakfast, it's so healthy. And he was like, oh, Mari, you probably don't need to eat that much. Because I was emulating the diet of someone that was huge with a ton of muscle, and I was just starting my fitness journey. I definitely took inspiration from Greg at first and then realized I probably shouldn't eat the same amount as a giant bodybuilder. What I did from there was just kind of replace certain things in my day with choices that I knew were healthier. When I was overweight and before I started my fitness journey, I would have a muffin or 2 a day. And I'm not talking like a cute little bite-sized muffin, I'm talking like a big deli muffin. And I would get 2 of those, and that's how I started my day. They're delicious, don't get me wrong, but I was basically starting my day with a big dose of sugar. I would crash really quickly energy-wise, I would get hungry really quickly energy-wise, and that just wasn't setting me up for a good day. So I replaced the muffin, I remember, with eggs and bacon, and I think I had oats too. The first time I had that breakfast, I was like, wow, this is really good. Like, it's delicious. This isn't gross, you know. I think when a lot of people start their fitness journey and they start eating in a more healthful way, they assume that they're gonna have to have like a green smoothie for breakfast and that's it. Eating healthy doesn't have to be so not good. I found that the breakfast I was having was really yummy, and it was making me last much longer throughout the day without having to eat again or without my energy crashing. So, but you know, I was just making small changes with my diet, and really observing how it made me feel mentally. A big part of my journey was mental health, because when I started, my mental health was awful. The foods that I was starting to eat were making me feel a lot better. Anxiety was down, depression was down, energy was up. So I was like, okay, this is great. And I wasn't even working out yet at this point, and I was already seeing amazing benefits. It was just a really positive way for me to begin my journey. The other thing I did in terms of food at the beginning was watch a lot of other fitness influencers. I would go on YouTube and I would see full days of eating. I would go on Instagram and take note of what people were eating. I think that's a good place to start. It gave me inspiration for meals and things to try. I will say that from the start of my fitness journey, my goal was never to just be skinny or just lose weight. My goal was definitely to have muscle from the beginning. When I was looking at people that I admired and the way that I felt I wanted to be, were weightlifters and bodybuilders, and that's how I wanted to look. So protein was a big part of the diet that I implemented. When I was looking at fitness influencers, I was looking at bodybuilding girls, or I was looking even at guys. I was just looking at anyone in the industry and seeing what they ate throughout the day. With that said, if you do take inspiration from myself, another fitness influencer, a full day of eating that you find, be aware that that person is eating that way because it works for them. You know, if I'm watching a video of a full day of eating from someone that is 5'2" and 100 pounds, that person is likely eating a lot less than I should, simply because of their size. And that's just like a scientific fact. If you're larger, I'm 5'11" and 170 pounds, I should be eating a lot more than someone that's 5'2" and 100 pounds, if you get what I mean. So just be aware of that when you're watching a full day of eating, or you're taking inspiration from another individual. You definitely don't have to emulate everything that they do. Take inspiration for fun meals. The next thing that I started doing on my fitness journey was drinking a ton of water. It's weird talking about it now because drinking water just comes so naturally to me now. I just like need it throughout the day, but at first I wasn't someone that drank a lot of water. Greg and a few other fitness influencers that I watched always spoke about how important water intake was, so I was like, okay, I need, you know, I'm gonna start doing that. I remember I got one of these not plastic, like reusable gallon jugs, and I would fill it every day, and it was kind of like a little challenge I had with myself to finish it daily, and it was really hard at first. I was like, oh my gosh, how is anyone drinking this much water? But the more I did it, the better I felt. I think I saw a big improvement in my skin. It helped me feel just like more hydrated and full. Especially if you're going to start working out, you need to be getting that H2O in. So I would highly recommend starting to implement that when you're beginning your fitness journey. The next thing I did was move more. I know that sounds really basic. When I say that I started small on my fitness journey, I'm not joking. I started really, really small. I implemented daily habits that were not crazy. I started really small and realistic and kind of built on that over time. So some of these things may sound really basic and silly to you, but they seriously just got me in that right direction, which I think is key. I think a lot of people start their fitness journeys and think they have to go from zero to fitness model in the first day, which is not the case. You just need to start implementing daily habits, and one thing will lead to another. One thing I really started doing was taking Lulu out more often. Lulu is my dog, my baby. I started taking her on these long forest walks every morning for like half an hour. At first I was just walking normally, like maybe I would bring a friend with me, but then over time I started kind of like power walking and just getting outside first thing in the morning, getting my body moving, having that time like away from my phone to just think about my daily goals and remind myself of why I was doing what I was doing, really, really helped. Actually, it's something I still do today. Greg and I make a point of taking Lulu on a really nice hike out here in Colorado every morning. We leave our phones in the car, and I think it's a great way to start the day, and I think it's a really realistic, easy thing to implement when you're starting your fitness journey. So walking Lulu was kind of how I started exercising. Please keep in mind, before my fitness journey, I had never stepped in a gym. Well, I had, but I was pretty much just joking around with my friends, let's be honest. I hated the gym, hated exercising. Gym class, I would like just walk around the track. Like, I was not an athletic individual. So starting off my journey and wanting to weightlift was kind of crazy, kind of intimidating. It was really scary, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went to the gym, I was incredibly embarrassed and intimidated and anxious. The weight section in particular really scared me, and I know it scares a lot of other people because there's a lot of men over there. There's a lot of people who look kind of tough, or you know, you assume are much more fit than you, or whatever it may be. I was very afraid of the weight section. Here is how I tackled the gym intimidation. I think the first time I went with Greg, which really helped a lot. I had my boyfriend there who was like big and knew what he was doing, and that really helped me. But when he went back to Philadelphia, I would go with a friend, which also really helped at first because I felt like I wasn't so alone. I felt like I had someone to kind of chat with and ask questions with. Even though she wasn't into the gym either, we kind of just went together, and it definitely helped. The other tip that I always give people, and that I did, is even though it's uncomfortable, just force yourself to get in that gym every day. Even if you don't work out, which I know sounds crazy, walk in there, walk around. Even if you just get on the treadmill for 5 minutes, make yourself comfortable with the actual place and the people. Get used to going daily. Even if you're not working out at first, go daily for 5-10 minutes. Make it a part of your daily routine, because things become a lot easier when they're just a part of your routine. And maybe you'll go 3 times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just today for 5 minutes. You don't even pick up a weight. That's fine. You're just getting yourself over that barrier of fear that you have. And maybe on the 4th day, you'll pick up some weights and do some bicep curls. Maybe on the 5th day, you'll hop on the leg press and realize, okay, this isn't that bad. No one's looking at me. They know who I am. I'm here every day. And slowly but surely, you get more and more comfortable in that environment, and it becomes more a part of your routine. Have your plan ready. I think that's also really key. I would have a little written plan in my notes. Okay, today is shoulder day. I'm gonna do these exercises. Sometimes I would even have the exercise picture screenshotted and ready to go for me to reference on like the form and things like that. If it was really bad and I was panicking, I would text or call Greg and say, oh my gosh, I'm about to do an overhead press, how do I do it? And he would send me a diagram. So I definitely had support from him. Make it so that you're prepared. Have your images and videos ready to go. If you're following my guide, make sure you have it saved on your phone. Screenshot the exercise if that helps you find it. Make sure you're following my video glossary page so you can reference it quickly. The other tip I have on gym intimidation, which I actually still use today, it sounds very basic and silly, but I swear it works. Get yourself a baseball cap and wear it pretty low so that you're not as easily able to look around the room, look at other people. Stay focused on the weights, on yourself, and have a big pair of headphones or just any old headphones and blast your music, your favorite music, and just make it so that you're like tunnel vision. I think I did that for months. Like at first I was so, you guys know I have anxiety anyway. I felt like everyone was staring at me. I felt like I was doing something wrong. The hat and the music really helped me focus on myself. The next thing that I did in terms of tracking my progress, unfortunately I really didn't take a lot of photos. I think it was such a dark period in my life. Well, first of all, I would avoid photos anyway. I wasn't posting on social media. I didn't want to see a photo of myself, and I definitely didn't want to take a progress photo, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, take progress photos. You'll be so thankful you did, because those are going to be the biggest indicator of change. If you're going to track progress on the scale, which obviously a lot of people do, when I first started my fitness journey, I was terrified of the scale. At the time, I was like very emotional about it. I was too afraid to see my starting number, so what I actually ended up doing was having Greg weigh me every weekend. He would look at the number and I would face away like this. He would write it down, and all he would do was tell me each week how much weight I had lost. He was really sweet about it. He would like be really excited for me, and I could see how proud he was of me. Okay, so the next thing that I did was educate myself. I spent a ton of time researching weightlifting, fitness, nutrition, macros, anything that you can think of. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I've told you before, during this really dark period of my life, I dropped out of school. During my fitness journey, I then re-enrolled back in school, and I was driving back and forth to Philadelphia, like 3 hours there, 3 hours back every week. And on that car drive, I would just play fitness podcasts the whole time with my Tupperware, with my little meal in hand. It was my obsession. I truly got so into it. This was the first time in my life I'd ever really set a goal for myself, and I threw myself into it 100%. And I know that it takes time to get to that point. When you first start, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's going to feel unnatural. You're not going to love it at first, but I promise when you start seeing results, whether that's in your body, in your mind, in your energy levels, you're going to be like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? And that's how I felt. The last thing that I'm going to say that I really started to do at the beginning of my fitness journey was focus on strength improvement as well as aesthetic improvement. And I want to explain that. And maybe weightlifting isn't for you, you don't enjoy it, that's fine. I'm just talking about myself. I started to focus on not just aesthetic progress, but also strength progress. I think it's important to give yourself outlets to be excited about different things. I hope that makes sense. But if you just get excited about losing pounds or losing fat, I think that can be kind of a slippery slope, and it can give people a lot of obsessive thinking, and it can be a little unhealthy. So I think it's good to give yourself another outlet. So mine was focusing on my strength as well. I was seeing it go up each week from 5 pounds to 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 17 pounds, 20 pounds. Strength progress is a really cool, empowering thing. You know, if you're a runner, maybe your time goes down. You know, I'm not much of a runner, so I don't really know the right terminology, but this can apply to any way that you work out. And the last thing that I did that I would recommend you guys do if you're starting your fitness journey is reward yourself. Make sure you're having that once or twice a week cheat meal to look forward to, be social at, get dressed up for. You know, if you hit a goal that you were really excited to hit, reward yourself. Take yourself shopping, have a nice meal, whatever you want, once a week, twice a week, whatever it is, physically, and then mentally it's going to help you relax. You get to look forward to it. You can socialize, dress up a little bit. Make sure you're rewarding yourself for hitting your goals. This isn't a punishment. Your fitness journey is a gift to yourself, and it's a privilege, and you should enjoy it. So make sure you are rewarding yourself when you do something cool. Those are all the things that I implemented in my fitness journey. Obviously, that wasn't in a 1 week span. It took me time to hit all those things. Those are the things that really stand out to me. And I really hope they help you in your fitness journey. Again, Happy New Year. Remember that you can turn your life and yourself into anything you want. It is not too late. It is okay if you feel like you completely messed up 2018. It is time to turn it around, and I know you can do it. So I love you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.